What is the biggest cause of climate change? The United States Federal Reserve. Why? Because they print money to pay for government deficits. They print money, hand it to Wall Street as liquidity. And what all that means is you can print endless amount of money, but you can't print stuff. So the Fed prints all this money. Look at their balance sheet. It's went up from 800 billion in 2008 to over 8.6 trillion today. So what this does is this creates artificial demand, artificial consumption. It pays for all these government programs that temporarily puts money in people's pockets, so they buy things. So that increases the trade deficit with China, and China uses coal power for all their power plants, and that's what creates CO2. That's what the biggest causes of CO2 are from countries, China, India, Vietnam to a lesser extent. All these countries that produce things, that ship goods to the United States, all that is propped up by artificial demand. So in a way, you know, the Federal Reserve and all the central banks of the world printing all this money is creating artificial demand, and demand for stuff is what is fueling climate change and global warming. Now, you can say what you will about climate change and global warming. I think it's happening. Is it man-made? To an extent, yes. But what is the fuel of it? The Federal Reserve. Because if the Fed wasn't printing all this money, if they weren't artificially stimulating demand, we would have deflation. We would have conservatism. We would have less stuff available. We would have less CO2 going into the atmosphere. So this is overall, the Fed is the biggest cause of climate change. Now, you can do your own research on this, but the Fed's balance sheet, look at that. It's just nonstop money printing. Most of it goes to Wall Street, which trickles down to the real estate market, to stocks and stuff, and it creates artificial demand, artificial debt. There's so much corporate debt out there, and it just creates malinvestments, things that should not be vested in. A lot of these cryptocurrencies have skyrocketed because of the Fed, all the money printing. And the cryptocurrencies are horrible for the environment. All that Bitcoin mining, that's terrible. It's such a waste of electricity, and again, a lot of it's coal power fueled. So if you're doing research, what is the biggest cause of climate change? It's the United States Federal Reserve, and also other central banks of the world, all printing money to artificially stimulate demand. And demand for stuff, demand for goods and services creates CO2, creates carbon, and it's just horrible for the environment. So one way to reduce climate change and reduce global warming is the Fed needs to stop printing money. Thanks for watching.